Chosen one, today has been marked for you, and something inside you already knows it. This Wednesday you are living in right now is not an ordinary square on a calendar. It has been waiting for you. It's been building up for weeks. There is a quiet pressure and restlessness that won't let you become the person you were. That's not worry. That's the old you starting to let go, because its time has come to an end. The person who kept everything together for years, even though late at night, when the house was quiet, you wondered if this was really all there was. But there was that voice that kept saying, "There's more. You were made for something you haven't touched yet." That voice was never in your head. It was memory. Yes, it was recognition. It was right. A choice was made about who you would become before you were born. And the long wait wasn't because you were turned down. The shape was formed. The smaller version of themselves has become permanent for most people. So they will scroll right past words like these. You're still here, though. These words were written by the person this message was meant for. It's not a slightly better version of the same tired life that starts today. On this Wednesday that you are in, when you finally walk through the door, it's who you really are. Follow me. They are about to meet you. This landing might feel a little bit like it's in your chest right now. Do something before we go one step further. Talk about the words, "I'm falling below this message," not as a wish, but as proof. It should be a reminder of the exact moment when the old you began to let go. Now, I'm going to tell you what I see when I look back at the years. I believe you have been carrying them all by yourself for too long. I see someone who was so happy when they first met. You were interested in everything as a child. The adults around you couldn't answer the questions you asked. You really felt things. What other people walked right past, you saw. And deep inside you, there was a light that didn't need permission to shine. Back then, you didn't have to try to be alive. You just were. The world slowly started to teach you a new lesson after that. It taught you to be quiet when you were ready to talk. When something inside you wanted to grow, it taught you to shrink. It scolded you for not fitting in and praised you for doing so. Everyone else's feelings came before your own, and you learned how to handle them. You turned into the strong, responsible person who never seems to need anything. Little by little, the brightness was covered over by people who didn't mean to hurt you. This is what most people get wrong about you. They think you got lost, were lazy, or were distracted, or that you wanted more than life could give you based on where you are now. You didn't have that happen to you at all. You didn't lose your spark because you did something wrong. The world slowly pulled something out of you year after year until the version of you that worked for them was the only one you could be. You changed, just like survivors do. You got very good at carrying things. You learned to live on a small part of what you really are. And you got so good at hiding the difference that no one else can tell that something is missing. But you do. You always know in the quiet times. What used to be clear is now filled with fog. What used to be lightness in you is now heavy. There is a person still breathing under all of that you haven't been able to reach in years. Also, let me say something that I normally don't, because some people might not get it. You've been having a rough morning, I know. You are tired when you wake up, even before the day has started. You grab your coffee and phone and get ready. In the background, you're negotiating just to get through another round of the same hours. I know what it's like when the word you want is right there in a conversation, and then it just disappears. You laugh it off while something inside you flinches. I know about the plans you made when you were really excited, that you kept hidden in a drawer and try not to open. I'm not telling you these things to make you feel open. This is so you know that I see the truth, not the perfect version of events that you show the world. Please pay close attention, as this is the first thing that needs to change today. There's nothing wrong with you that's making you think fuzzy. It's not who you are that you're dull. It's not proof that you're broken, weak, or hopelessly behind. It's what's left of everything you lived through. And residue can be cleaned up. You never lost your true self. It was buried. Things that have been buried can be brought back to the surface. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. Today is different from all the other days. You've tried to change. You've worked on the surface for years. A new year means a fresh start with new habits, routines, and promises to yourself. Every time. The change only lasted a short time before the fog came back, and you blamed your lack of discipline. But it was never the surface that was wrong. What made you less bright happened below your awareness at a level that your willpower couldn't reach. This means that what makes you bright again has to work at the same level. Put that thought on hold. I'm going to talk about it again because it's important. To show you where you are now on this Wednesday that has your name written on it, let me take you there. You're not the fiery child you used to be, and you're not yet the person you can feel waiting on the other side of the fog. As a soul, you are in the most uncomfortable place possible, the in-between. You can remember enough of who you were to grieve it, and you can feel enough of who you could be to long for it. But you are not in either of those places. There is a name for that tension you keep calling restlessness. It's the stress of having two different selves, trying to live the same single life. One of them is finally going to win today. I'm sure this message got to the right person because of this. There are signs that show who you are, and you'll be able to spot them as I name them. You know things in your heart before they happen, but you've learned a long time ago not to say them out loud, as if you were running a different operating system under the same surface. You've always felt a little out of sync with the people around you. There has never been enough normal success for you, no matter how much of it you got. And deep down, you've always had a strong feeling that you are here for a reason that you haven't and fully met yet. You are not being praised if those signs are hitting you right now. That's what identification is. If this makes you feel like you, take a slow breath and do something with me. Write the word or wake below this message. It should stand for the part of you that reads these words and thinks, yes, that's me. I've always been that person. Putting it into words makes something happen. It stops being a private pain you carry alone and turns into a choice you saw happen. Some of you are already raising your hands because you are not naive. You've heard lovely things before. In a message, sermon, or book, you've felt hope rise, but by the weekend, you saw it slowly fade. A guarded part of you is telling you, be careful. Things didn't change when you believed something like this before. Please listen to that voice, because it kept you from chasing 100 false promises. Then I want you to see something it has never thought of. Everything you've tried so far has told you to put in more work, be more disciplined, follow a routine, and force yourself to think positively. They all failed in the same spot for the same reason. No one of them ever got to the point where they really dimmed. You never made a mistake. Again and again, you used the wrong kind of key on the wrong kind of lock, and then blamed your hand for the door not opening. Now I want to hold something up for you before we go any further. In the last few years, something has been confirmed in secret, in research labs, that most people who care about the things we're talking about have never heard. It didn't come from a holy place, so it doesn't mean anything. Most of us were just not paying attention. There is something about the way the mind is built that explains exactly what you have been feeling, but couldn't put a name to it. They were led by a doctor in New York who has spent 20 years studying this. Something so important that it goes all the way back to a Nobel Prize. But it's used in such a simple way that it sounds almost fishy the first time you hear it. What they found will be in the next part of this message. But hold on to this one question for now. What if your mind isn't foggy because you're old, or because you haven't taken care of yourself? What if someone took something from you and you can get it back? Take a moment to notice your body, where you are sitting, before I take you there. Take note of the breath you've been holding a little too high in your chest. You are putting in effort even when you're not doing anything. See how low it is. You do this quiet bracing, even when no one asks you to. You're not naturally braced like that. This is what you've learned over years of surviving one setback at a time. And the fact that you can feel it now, that you can tell the difference between the tension and the ease that lies beneath it, shows that the designer in you is still alive. That's the exact part of you I'm talking to today, Wednesday. Not the worn-out boss in your life, the one below who never agreed to be small. That question will change the last 10 years of your life in a quiet way. What if the dimming happened to you without you being aware of it? Then it was never a judgment on your worth. A condition is all it was, and it can be changed. The person you keep imagining on the other side of the fog is real, not just a great story you have to make up. That person is the first version of you before the world taught you how to shrink yourself. Today is the day you start to walk back toward them. Let me show you the way this road really goes. Come with me down that road, and I'll show you who's waiting at the end of it. You need to get a good look at this person before you walk up to them. Picture yourself in a few weeks. The first thing you notice when you wake up is what's missing. There is no fog. When you wake up, your mind is clear, just like it was when you were young and the weight of life wasn't there. The word you're looking for comes to you right away. The idea you've been thinking about for months comes together all of a sudden into a clear and simple thing. Your brain is no longer being pushed to work. Simply put, it's working again the way it was meant to. Think about the people in your life who are with you in that future. You're with them like you haven't been in years. You aren't just listening while your mind wanders off to a faraway place that isn't clear. You're really there. Someone close to you knows about it before you even say anything. If you have kids, they can feel it in the room. When someone finally comes back online, conversations that felt like talking into a wall start to come to life again. Your friends and family never asked for more time from you. It was important for them to see the real you. Finally, think about the part of your life you've been afraid to hope for. The calling, the thing you were meant to do that you put on hold years ago because the fog made it seem impossible to carry. The ideas come back in this future. It's possible to act on them again. The part of you that can tell when a door is open is finally awake. And you can see doors you've walked past 100 times before. The provision was always ready for you, set up and there. You didn't notice it was there because you were moving through it with the receiver turned down too low. I want you to see one more scene because it's the most important one. Think about the pattern in your family that you've seen happen over and over again. The struggle that seems to run through your bloodline. The door that opens for everyone but you. That day, you will be the one who breaks it. Not by putting in more effort than your parents did, since they did their best. You break it because you can now use the part of you that they never got to see. You are the last person who will hear the story that has been passed down through your family like an unwanted gift. The kids that come after you will see a different kind of person, someone who is awake, present, and full of the light that was always meant to be there. That's not a little thing. That's the whole reason why You were picked for this. Maybe one of those scenes made your chest lift right now. I don't want you to just look at it. I want you to get it. Write your thoughts on the words, "I receive this," below this message. Not as a dream that you'll forget by morning, but as a doorway that you have chosen to walk through right now. You're not asking anyone to let you do this. You are agreeing to what has already been planned. Pay attention to the time of all of this for a moment. You didn't just find these words by accident one afternoon. You found them today. On the Wednesday I told you at the beginning was set aside for you. You used to just think that was a coincidence and move on. But the version of you that is reading this message knows the difference between a coincidence and a meeting. It is time for an appointment. You're not early or late. You got there just at the right time. Take a moment right now. Take deep breaths. You brought some heavy things into this message. Please put them down for a moment before we continue. What comes next is the turn that everything else has been leading to. Do you remember the question I told you to think about before? The one about something found in a lab that has ties to a Nobel Prize, but is so simple, it sounds almost fishy. The quiet part of you that has been waiting for the answer the whole time hasn't forgotten about it, and neither have I. Here we are, almost there. But before I let you in, I need you to fully grasp how this works. Because if you don't know the why, the what will seem too good to be true, and you will talk yourself out of the thing you have been praying for. Keep close. This is what I'm going to show you. There's a reason why your mind went blank. No matter how hard you tried or how much faith you had, there was a reason. And there is a very easy way to undo the dimming that is almost embarrassingly simple. One that doesn't ask for much and only needs a few quiet minutes of your time. It's not a different field. This isn't another thing that makes you feel like you're failing, which is what you really feel. To do that, you would have to reach down and flip a switch that was off years ago, without your knowledge or permission. Choose one, stay with me for a few minutes. The part of you that has been waiting in the fog is now standing on the other side, close enough to touch. This is the exact turn that this whole message has been building up to. Okay, enough with the metaphors. Let me talk to you straight up, because you should be able to understand this clearly. This is why. When you were a child, your left and right sides of the brain work together very closely. That close coordination is what made you curious, creative, and absolutely clear. Being an adult slowly threw those two halves out of sync. Not because you're not good enough. Almost everyone goes through it. Less than 1,000 people still have the level of synchronization they had when they were born. There it is, in clear language, the fog you've been carrying for years. This is the what. The lost synchronization can be brought back. We were taught that the brain stays frozen, but that's not true. It can be led back to that state of being fully connected. And now for the who. Not everyone who hears it should do this. This is for the person who has felt the call their whole life and wouldn't let go, even when the evidence wasn't on their side. That's you. Okay, now I'll finally tell you what was found and how it works. A scientist named Dr. Roger Sperry won the Nobel Prize in 1981 for proving something that had never been proven before. He proved that the two sides of the brain are meant to work together as a single unit, and that when they can't talk to each other, the mind only works at a small part of its full potential. What I told you before was found in the studies that came after. About 98% of young children who take tests are creative geniuses. When they are adults, almost no one does. The ability doesn't go away. It goes to sleep. It's ready to be called again. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Let me tell you about two people before I talk about the team that was made because of that discovery. A woman from California talked about how her life was before she found this. For months, she did everything her faith and community taught her, but she kept hitting the same wall. She believed what was said, but she couldn't feel what it meant. She said that after about 10 days, something just got better. A channel that had been closed for years opened up again all of a sudden. It wasn't because she worked harder. The receiver had been fixed. Something similar was said by a man from Texas. Someone who had kept everyone else together for years while his own mind became dull and far away. After 2 weeks, he woke up and said that his mind was finally working on everything it was supposed to. He had stopped noticing the fog because it was gone. That's because of what a group of neuroscientists led by Dr. Daniel Barron in New York, built in secret. A lot of work went into making this 8-minute targeted listening sequence. It was made from more than an hour of clinical whole brain activation material used in specialized medical settings. Every day for 8 minutes with headphones on and eyes closed. That's the only thing that's needed. The smart switch is what they call it. It's not an app for meditation or keeping track of your mood. It is a precise sound sequence based on the Nobel Prize winning work of Dr. Roger Sperry that was designed to get your two hemispheres back to the way they were when you were a child. I need to be honest about who this is for, since not everyone can use the genius switch. This is for the chosen one who knows that they were given both a calling and the mind to go after it. The person who has been honest for years, done the inner work, heard the call clearly, and kept coming back to it, even when there was no proof. When most people hear this, they will just scroll past it and accept that their mind is now smaller for good. You're still here. That isn't a mistake. The person this was made for is the one who is very persistent like that. Let me tell you how much it costs now, because that story is also important. Friends and co-workers told Dr. Barone that this would still be a great deal at $500. These kinds of sessions cost $300 an hour in person. 7,000 can be run on a home machine. There was no price cut at 500, 200, or even 100. It came out at 49, and today, only on this page, you can save an extra 10 or 39. It comes with 4 gifts as well. A guided visualization from a well-known author, a grocery list that saves most people over $100 a month, a text on manifestation that is more than 100 years old, and a printable set of the 5 habits you need to start building your life. All of it comes with a money-back guarantee that doesn't matter what. Listen 80 times. Your money back in full if it doesn't work the way it has for more than 18,000 other people. There are no conditions. And this is the only real sense of urgency I'll give you. In the synchronized state, you can see the plans that have already been made for your life, that you can't see in the partial state. Not because the provision is new, but because the receiver has been fixed, so it can finally understand it. One real word of caution. You can find fakes with the same name if you look for something like this on the usual sites. They don't have the real mechanism inside. It's only possible to trust the page that the team made, which is where the link below takes you. If what you heard makes sense to you, you can read about it below this message and in the comment that is pinned. Before you decide anything, you can read everything there. This is it. I want to take a moment to think about everything we have talked about so far. You came to this message with a fog that you thought would never go away, but now you know the truth. In no way did it say how much you were worth. A condition is all it was, and it can be changed. You were told about 8 minutes a day. That will return your mind to the state it was in when you were born. They are still waiting for you. In the description below and the pinned comment, for the moment your spirit says yes. This last part doesn't need to be done quickly. There is only an invitation and a door that is wide open. Okay, but don't leave yet. I want to do something with you while the door is still open. While you are somewhere safe, close your eyes. Breathe in slowly and out even more slowly than you breathed in. Think of a single point of warm light sitting in the middle of your forehead, behind your eyes. This light is real. You think of that picture when you think about the part of you that has been dimmed for a long time. Look at it now. It's small, steady, and waiting. Keep an eye on that light as it grows. It slowly fills your head, then your chest, and finally your whole body as you sit there. It does this with every breath you take. As it goes, let it reach the places that have been heavy for years and feel them get lighter. This is how going online again really feels. Not a strain, a return. Now, put one hand on the middle of your chest and move it up and down. Having that steady beat in your hand shows that the old you was never gone. It only needed to be told it could go home. The word ruach comes from ancient Hebrew and means breath, wind, and spirit all at the same time. The ancients knew something that we no longer do. The breath that is moving through you right now is the same force that lit your mind for the first time when you were a child. You haven't been running on empty for years. You've been riding on a gift that you couldn't feel. So, let's quietly be thankful for that without having to do anything. Thanks for giving me a mind that was never really broken. Thank you for the hidden light. Thanks for finally making it to Wednesday. Now, let go of the things you were never meant to carry. The shame of the years you lost. The idea that the fog was your fault. And the smaller version of yourself that the world gave you and told you to accept. Allow everything to fall from your hands, as if it were something you were never meant to hold. Say these words with me instead, not as a wish, but as something that is already happening. I'm awake. I understand. I'm becoming the person I was always meant to be. And if you believe those words, seal them somewhere that other people can see them. Talk about the words, I'm going to become below one last time. So this moment is written in your mind and in the open where it can't be changed. And listen to this before you get up. You didn't just happen to get to the end of this message. This is where you were meant to be today, by the same hand that wrote your name before time began. What was dimmed in you is getting brighter again. What was taken from you is being given back to you. What was promised over you is now on its way. If this message got to the real you today, please press like slowly, but not for me. Do this so that it finds the next chosen one who is still waiting for their own Wednesday to come. Also, send this to someone you care about today. If they came to mind while you were listening, you might be the door they've been waiting for. This Wednesday, which was important to you before you were born, is the end of the old you. This breath, this moment, is the start of the new you. The light is already spreading. Move forward, chosen one. You're not the same person you were this morning. It's sealed, and it stays that way. Wow. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your breakthrough is waiting.